Hey guys.
Hi.
It's your girl.
Shut up. Why are we here? I'm gonna share something with you guys. It's gonna get a little personal.
I get personal with anybody. It's no problem.
It's not true.
It's not a secret about my life. So
if you guys don't know, I'm A Plus Blonde, and this is my husband. What's your name? What's your YouTube name?
Money Mike 813 at YouTube, Instagram.
He does not have a YouTube channel.
I got Instagram and Twitter. Money Mike 813 But I'm gonna be real with you guys. I got a situation.
Wait, let's preface before you just tell them.
Okay,
so we've been married for 2 years. And between the both of us, when it's kind of going to be about parents. So my dad's still alive, so is my mother. But since before we got married, probably about 6 to maybe 9 months, maybe about 6 months, I would say. 6 to 9 months before we got married, the relationship between my mother and I
went to shit.
Yeah. So my mother did not come to my wedding. Like 2 years in, my mother still hasn't even said, hey, congratulations, praying for you guys, just nothing. Like in her eyes, it's like I'm not even married. I feel like it's not Zoom. Anyway, and then I have my dad, who is the exact opposite. My dad,
very supportive.
Very supportive. He walked me down the aisle. And then my husband. So tell them about your parents.
So mom passed away when I was 11. So that's been about 20-something years ago. It's kind of crazy. Dad wasn't there. Lived in the same city. Wasn't there. So I was
still
raised.
Live in the same
still
city.
lives in the same city. Still ain't there. So I was raised by my grandmother and my 2 aunts. And one of my aunts just passed away about 3 years ago. About 3.5 years ago. And the other one, we don't see eye to eye, so we don't really speak like that.
So you haven't spoken to her in how many years?
About 3. So that relationship kind of faded away about 6 months after my other aunt passed away. So kind of give you a little background on the internal family.
All right, so tell them what happened today, which, kind of like led us here to this recording. What happened? I don't even know what happened, so I don't know where this came from. So I'll be hearing it for the first time myself.
So as I drive, which I drive a lot, I feel like the Holy Spirit speaks to me at times. And I felt like the Holy Spirit spoke to me today. And so it led me to try to seek out my dad, which crazy story. Like, I have a stepbrother that I follow on Facebook and have been for about a year or so, but we're not close, not too close at all.
Of course.
But come to find out, he really doesn't deal with him either. So that was kind of a dead end. And so then I reached out to him today and was like, hey, I have some questions that I need answered from, I call my dad by his first name. Well, I have some questions for my dad that I feel like I need answered, because I don't feel like it's fair to my son to not know who his grandfather is. So even though he ain't been there for me, I feel like possibly, I don't know how this is all going to turn out, but possibly he needs to be there for my son
And I just want to say, like, we had a doctor's appointment, and you had to give like family history or whatever, and his son said, and I'm not sure if he said grandma or granddad, but he said, I didn't know that I had he either said grandma or granddad. So that was just kind of like, wow, like he does have those things from like both of us either way. But I mean, the only person that he's ever met is my dad, who does refer to him as his grandson. But he lives in another city, so we don't get to see him that often. But you know, that was kind of like, wow.
Yeah. And then there's some questions, you know, I feel like I need answers to with regards to like family history and medical history. So there were some questions asked that I didn't have answers to, and that kind of played with me on my mind a little bit, you know, about, well, I don't know if this trait is carried from my dad's side. Is it, you know, I don't know. So Facebook is a mother, and Facebook is a good resource. So literally I went through some people's pages and friend requested everybody who had the same last name as me and asked them, how do you know this person, which is my dad? And somebody responded, which is his wife, responded, I'm not his sister, I'm his wife. And it took me back because I never knew he was married. Like I never knew he remarried after he got divorced from my mom. So
yeah, you kind of assumed that was his sister.
Right, I assumed that it was his sister because I didn't know that he was remarried.
So you don't have any relationship with anybody on your dad's side of the family?
No, none at all. So there's people that I probably passed by and have seen multiple times that are stepbrother, stepsister, aunt, whatever, that I just don't know. So a Facebook, not even a conversation, it was a request, and I said, look, I have some questions that I feel need to be answered by him, and I would hope you can help me facilitate some type of meeting. And I was about to delete her off of my Facebook and block her because she took a little too long. And finally she responded and said yeah, and sent a phone number, maybe it's his, I don't know if it's hers, and then asked for mine, and I sent it.
But so, now he won't call. He feels like he did the first step to initiate contact, so he feels like the dad should do the next step.
That's how I feel.
So
now, if you think I'm wrong, let us know. Let me know, because we'll keep you posted how this goes, you know, step by step. But this ninja hasn't even been there since I was 11 years old. 11.
We don't need to know how old you are. We don't need to know how old.
Like I'm telling you, almost like it's like
a lot of years.
A lot of years. A quarter of a century. Let's just say that.
No,
not even saying he hasn't been there since I was 11, but hasn't been, prior to that he wasn't there. 11 is when my mom passed. So prior to that he still wasn't there. So I got questions like, where you been?
So my thought process on it is, so at least since he's been an adult, dad has not reached out. Dad has not tried to seek him to, you know, build a relationship. So that kind of comes off to me as you don't want to. You don't really care about a relationship. So my concern with him is going to somebody like that in a demanding answers type of vibe, for lack of a better way to explain it. I just feel like that could possibly be very negative and yield negative results.
Well, I'm gonna cut you off right there. I really don't give two shits what results it yields. Like, I'm the one who's been without for 20 something years. You miss birthdays, which whatever. I will never miss my son's birthdays. Ain't gonna happen. I'll fight for him, which I've done. You've missed baseball games, football games. You missed football signing day in high school. You missed college football games. You missed graduations from high school, college again. You missed so many things that just you don't. I guess you just don't feel like you care. Like it's worth it. I missed, not just saying he's missed. I missed on having. I went to all boys high school. That's tough on a brown boy being in a predominantly white environment with no dad. You know, at an all boys thing, calling out from school when they had the dads club stuff. Don't go to school that day because shit. Who gonna come to my aid? You know, but thankfully I had a great high school coach who still is a great father figure to me. It's like one of my top father figures that I have, who still gives me the advice and that I need, and it's still the shoulder I can lean on and cry to. So,
don't look alike. That's it.
Yeah, we don't. we not at all. But. Let us know what you think. We'll keep you posted on how this goes. This is literally just happening, unfolding right now. So we're kind of giving you an insight on what is taking place. And I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I know I have questions and emotions and feelings and all this stuff bottled inside that I would love to regurgitate out. But I don't know how it's gonna go, you know. So
all right, you guys, leave us some questions, comments, advice, whatever down below, and until next time, bye.